Hello and welcome to another record of the characters I've been playing in Path of Exile 2's beta before the first big batch of downtunes and changes. And this time we're doing a Stormweaver, which actually was my first character to play. And it has had a rough life of trying about 7 different builds. It started out as a monk and a poison monk, which was actually kind of cool, and I kind of want to try some more of that. My idea was originally to go from here, take the monk skills and do some of the poison stacking, and then maybe some cast on shock freeze things, but I didn't. It was nice. Actually, I really do like the double shock, the double chill on that. Works fantastic, and I probably will do something else with that. But currently we are actually a Bonestorm. So I saw Bones skills, and I saw there was one of the small patches they did during the Christmas end of the year, December patches was some changes to the bonus skills. So we're doing Bonestorm as a Stormweaver. We have elemental damage as energy shield, as we are obviously doing that, as always. We are also doing block. We have a shield, and then we do the arcane surge for all the arcane surge cast speed and mana regen. The cast speed is actually a pretty important part of this build. We have a lot of cast speed here. We have the arcane surge. We have the arcane surge scaling. We have more cast speed and all that. And then on top of that, we are doing more energy shield. We are doing the armor break, physical damage bleed nodes here. We're doing some of the critical stuff. We could probably be doing more. We do a little bit of area. Actually, area is actually pretty nice. I should also probably get this. I will show in a second. Then we do more energy shield, more crit, and so on. And we have a little bit of the physical nodes here, which could probably be changed into more single target. One of the big things that kind of sucks with this is that all of the casting stuff kinda scales from Archmage currently. And this thing cannot actually use it. So we're running a Blasphemy. And to be honest, there's not much with that either. There's not a lot of spirit stuff to be used. Grim Fist, obviously, as every energy shield thing is using. I'm just doing temp shields, temp chains, because there's not really any spirit stuff I can run with this. Maybe cast on crit or cast on whatever, but also mana problems. But normally, Bonestorm, if you take, for example, Arcane Tempo off here, so what you need to do is channel these bones slowly, which obviously I'm not doing that slow. And you would have to do this slow walk throw, slow walk throw, slow walk throw. And why we have all the cast speed is this. So instead of doing that, I can actually just click the button and channel a decent amount of these. If I had even more cast speed, I would never have to stop to channel them. So I'm actually not channeling, this is just clicking. And we have actually enough cast speed to do this instantaneously. And if I had a little bit more, I could get all of the 20 bones instantly. And Bonestorm has this lovely debuff up to 20 projectiles. And the debuff that adds a lot of additional physical damage. It says from next attack, but it's actually a duration. So you can stack a bunch of these stacks on the mob. And it gives a... Like, my damage is kind of low numbers-wise here, but it does not account for this massive buff. It also has an explosion, which also has a same thing. And this happens if you have power charge, and you have more area per power charge consumed. And to do power charges, I press wrong button, we have Walls Protector. It is not the only way, but since I'm scaling crit and 25% chance to gain on a crit, we throw a lot of bones, we crit all the time. Which basically gives, on the first throw we don't have a power charge, but then basically we have more or less infinite power charges. I'm still to be missing a ring, I kinda stole one of them. I think for another character to get some resistance. It was one of my resistant rings. And the other thing we really need is the Snake Pit ring. So this gives us a fork. I tried the chain. I wasn't a fan of the chain, but this gives us a fork on the bones and fork on the explosions, which means 20 bones forking and exploding is a lot of overlapping explosions. Then nothing really special, just a resistance shield for blocking, and then some mana rarity, kind of usual stuff. Nothing really special. Like I'm missing one of the gear pieces even. I'm also using a bone cage to do this bony thing, and I have spell Echo Unleash concentrated effect on this, and it's actually kind of nice when a lot of enemies are rushing to you. You just do this, pop that, and it stops them in a place. We are also running Detonate Data, as that scales with everything we do anyways, and it's a really great way to pop an enemy. Also, we can hold the shield up if we need to block something, but I rarely remember to actually do that. So let's just jump here, and I'll show you how the build runs. This is nothing special, tier 14 map, with a few mods and stuff, so nothing really fancy. I have done 16s, 15s bosses, some of the bosses with this and whatnot, so it's totally capable of doing this. So we're basically just running around, we throw some bones, we never really have to stop, and as you can see, we get the power charges, so when we get the blue explosion, that is the power charge, and with the fork, stuff is just forking all over the place, and that's basically how you play this build. You just keep throwing these. On a boss, you might want to focus a little bit more and channel a little bit more, but you basically never need to stop moving as you keep throwing your bones around, and it's fairly fast because of that. And I also get kind of basically survivability of never having to stop in a spot. I subscribe to the Path of Exile 1 mentality that if you stop moving, you die, and it works pretty well on a PoE 2 as well. And the less I need to stand on a spot, the better. And the bone explosion, the blue one from the power charge, is where I would like to have more AoE, because that gives even more overlap and then obviously more clear. So it helps with both bosses and with a single target, with clear on the maps and boss single target. But it's kind of hard with these levels. And like this is a single target on a boss rare. That's pretty fast. Not the worst. Which, considering how little the damage is on the tooltip, I mean, it could be way better for sure. It still seems to clear just fine. Like numbers on the character sheet aren't always all of the truth, because it doesn't show the debuff. The debuff, I mean, they don't really even stack the debuff because they just insta-die from both the bones and the explosions. But especially on bosses, you can see once they have the maximum stacks of the bones, they just melt. Like it does so much damage, and there's definitely way more room to improve this build as well. I just didn't want to really invest the effort and the money. And I think also different ascendancies work really well for this. Except I really do like the Stormweaver Arcane is so good. For the cast speed. It's just so much cast speed, which then enables the instant channeling. Instead of having to stay on a spot to channel, you just keep running and throwing your bones. And I don't think, while the other ascendancies would probably do way more damage, I don't think the feel of the play would be so nice as the quality of life of being just able to throw and kind of go around enemies is very, very, very nice to have. I really enjoy that part, not having to stop. But let's stop here, and we'll go back to hideout. And I'll show one thing that I would probably consider. I haven't been... actually, when I was playing this, I was really low on currency. Somehow, trying 14 different builds and trying to gear your characters kind of drains your currency, and have constantly been a little low because of that. Like, I have nothing currently. May have invested into a different character again. But one thing I would consider is these boots. Which I don't seem to actually have currently. I may have actually dumped them. Yeah, looks like I've dumped them. So there's the Bushwhacker boots, which gives you pinning on physical damage. And the bone is physical damage. So if you do that, or you could also grab a skill gem and do ping. Yes, pin. So you can do pinning. Physical damage for a supportive skill is pinning. Is the pin. Of course, I don't really want to do that because it's a one one slot for a gem, and I would rather have some damage. But the boots have a decent movement speed, and all of your physical damage is pinning from this thing. And pinning mobs also makes them immobilized, which can combo with other things. And being immobilized from every single one of your throws, I have tried those boots a little bit, is very, very, very nice. And then there is it's an aura, I think, or a spirit. That's a spirit gem. There is the combat frenzy, which gives you a frenzy charge every time you pin an enemy. And with that, you could be running. Where is it? It's somewhere in here. The one that gives you. Is this? Oh no, it is this one. Sorry, resonance. So instead of frenzy charge, when you gain a frenzy charge instead of a power charge into a frenzy charge. So the combat frenzy would give you the power charge you need. I mean, this is a tech that a lot of people use. But this would give you always when you pin an enemy, you get a power charge and you explode. So you could add that pinning element to your build and still retain the explosions, and you could get rid of the Wolf's Protector chest piece, which is kind of terrible, to be honest, other than the power charge on crit, which enables most of this build anyway, so with but it's it is a little it would also make this worse on bosses, because you can't really just chain pin them as well. Instead, when you do a crit, you can just chain crit them to keep the power charges going. So I don't know which one is better. And also your boot slot is pretty premium, but so is a chest slot, I guess. But yeah, that's my Bonestorm Stormweaver that I've been running around a little bit. Not the highest level, could be higher level as well. And I think you could scale this quite a bit. And it does clear map pretty decently, even with this kind of whatever garbage I have currently thrown on it. Like my wand could be way better easily. More physical levels, more damage and all that. Shield could be probably better, some of the gear could be better. Might be an angle to also level up. With Threaded Light could be interesting option for more spell damage. I think the damage and a little bit of survivability is currently the biggest problems with this. Also, the skill actually has one big, huge problem. Because you channel the bones like this, so they're kind of above your character. And it's a 3D world. If the mob is really small and in front of you, because of the downward angle as the bones fly, it actually misses anything really tiny in front of you. Like, it's actually really hard to hit anything right next to you. Which is one of the reasons I'm actually running the Detonate Death. Because I throw my bones, and maybe a couple of the tiny creatures get past me, and then I'm kind of stuck with them right next to her. But there's a lot of bodies nearby, and then I just use my either the Bone Cage, or I use my Detonate Death to deal with the tiny trash right next to me. It is actually kind of annoying. But yeah, this is my Stormweaver Bonestorm idea that I've been running around. And it's been pretty fun. Has some mechanical improvements that the GGG could do, but also definitely could be scaled way better as well. But anyway, thank you for watching this one. I'll see you guys again next time. And keep playing some PoE2. So, bye-bye.